Hello and welcome to the AstroMotive Car Care Clinic. Today we're working on a 2014 Buick Enclave with a check engine light. We scanned the computer with a generic scanner and found a code p0496 which indicates an excessive purge flow. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, this valve right here is the evap purge solenoid valve. That is a normally closed valve. When the evap system develops enough pressure, the computer commands the valve on, which exposes the system to manifold vacuum and allows all the vapors from the evap system to be sucked into the combustion chamber, burned up, and sent out the tailpipe. Well, what the computer picks up is that there is vacuum sensed in the system with the valve not commanded on, and the normally closed valve is obviously leaking, or there's a leak somewhere else in the system. So right now we're going to show you a really quick trick on how to test that valve without having to have a big scanner to command the valve on and off and all that good stuff. Now, if this test passes, then we'll still need to test the valve on its own. But this is a good way to get started on the diagnostic process. So with this valve being normally closed, we understand that if we were to apply a vacuum gauge to the other side of the valve, that there should be no manifold vacuum. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this vacuum line here. It's actually the vapor line. And then we're going to go ahead and connect a vacuum gauge here. Then we'll go ahead and start the engine and look for the presence of manifold vacuum on the other side of this valve here. Now, as you can see from this gauge, it appears that we have full manifold vacuum, which indicates that the valve is failed internally. And so even if we were to command it on or off, there may be some variation due to the mechanical action inside the valve, but we know right now that this valve is failed. So with the valve being failed, we went ahead and ordered a replacement valve. So to remove this valve, it's real simple. There's one electrical connection here and one 10mm bolt here. And so we'll go ahead and remove the valve and replace it, and then we'll retest the system. So we've gone ahead and installed the new valve, reconnected the vacuum gauge, and started the engine. And as you can see, we do not have full manifold vacuum anymore. This gauge was dropped real recently, so it's out of calibration by about 4 inches. But if the gauge wasn't defective, it would be reading 0 right now. But as you can see, the new valve corrected the whole issue. So there you have it, p0496 diagnostic on a 2014 Buick Enclave. Thanks for joining us for the AstroMotive Car Care Clinic.